Good morning everyone, my name is Crystal and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today is Friday, I'm getting near to the weekend. It's absolutely freezing cold, everything is frosty outside, frozen. I happen to have a piece of clothing out there and it's gone as hard as cardboard. It was just like, hey, my piece of clothing was like cardboard, frozen solid. So it's absolutely freezing outside. Wrap up warm. Alexa, good morning.
Here's what I found.
Alexa, exit YouTube. Alexa, good morning.
Good morning. Since it's now December, I think I'm officially allowed to get excited about Christmas. I've been trying to get hold of Santa, but he's very busy. Maybe you should try. Just ask me to call Santa.
Okay, Alexa, call Santa.
Okay, here's Amazon. Call Santa. Okay, calling Santa's workshop.
Hiya, it's Dino the elf here. Thanks for calling. I'm sorry, but Santa can't take your call right now. He's taking the sledge for its MOT. Please try again tomorrow.
Try asking me to sing Snacking Santa.
Alexa, sing Snacking Santa. No.
The butterfly's out on Christmas Eve. He's ready for a feast you won't believe. Climbing down the chimneys, Jelly Belly making quite the squeeze. It's Santa's Day, a stuffing reindeer talking about snacking Santa. He's munching on the mince pies, stealing Rudolph's carrots, sipping on the sherry, getting rather merry. Everybody's cooking chocolates, I'm hoping for that snacking Santa. Belly keeps on filling out, so find it thrilling cause it's snacking Santa.
So Max snapped at Nikki because Nikki keeps trying to sit in Max's chair because Max sits on that chair, so he snapped because it's getting colder and the cats want to sit on blankets, so Nikki is sitting on Max's blanket and he snapped. Alexa, what's the time please?
Good morning, Crystal. It's 8:52 a.m.
Alexa, what's the date today?
It's Friday the 1st of December.
Alexa, what's the weather like?
Right now in Rochester, it's 0 degrees Celsius with partly sunny skies. Today's forecast has mostly sunny weather, with a high of 4 degrees and a low of -3 degrees.
Alexa, can you tell me a joke?
How did the kangaroo steal the car? She jump-started it.
Right, so the first thing I do when I get up is put the heating on for a little bit. I can't put it on for hours and I can't put it on all day just to heat up the room. It takes quite a while and the pets are they feel the cold as well even though they've got fur on, but we've got plenty of blankets. We have got heating, you just have to wait for a while in the morning for everything to heat up. So Nikki is taken to now sitting in Max's chair. So Max is getting annoyed. So there we go. Nikki used to stay with Snowball in the other room, but since Snowball, my white cat, died, unexpectedly. I'm having Nikki in here, so she doesn't feel alone, and she's coming on well since she went missing for a month. Still on the thin side, but we're feeding her up, so she's getting back to the way she was. I don't think she'll ever be the same again, because I think she was like locked up somewhere and couldn't get out. I don't mean on purpose, but she got stuck somewhere, and she's still that little bit frightened and is like cowering, and she used to be quite a vocal cat. She doesn't meow so much now, not as she used to do. Right, so Friday morning. I've got up. I felt a bit tired, a bit dozy, like I don't know why I've got a feeling like I haven't had any sleep for. Dozy, you know. And my mouth tasted like crap. I had to chew some chewing gum. That breakfast spaghetti yesterday was absolutely rank. It was disgusting. I shan't eat another one of those for a while. So last night I did the video, carried on watching TV. I watched a TV programme about the Tower of London. Somebody told me there was a programme about Egypt. I didn't get to watch that programme about Egypt. I watched the Tower of London. I watched a bit of Accident and Emergency, because those type of programmes tend to come on in the autumn. So I was watching A&E. I was talking to I don't know who, on Plenty of Fish, just exchanging nice messages. They weren't nasty, and then I went off to bed. It was very noisy next door last night. I don't know what they do, but it just sounds like someone is running up and down by the side of the wall where I'm trying to watch my telly. Similar sorts of noises to the noises that the kids make upstairs when they stay with their dad up there. Very similar noises, but it's against my wall and it's irritating. You're trying to concentrate on something and it just sounds like someone is running up and down. I went to bed at near 12 o'clock last night, and there was a kid running up and down against the side of the wall, making noises. Got up this morning. My neighbour upstairs was up at 5 in the morning. He didn't wake me up because I normally get up to go to the toilet. But I could hear him. At 5 o'clock in the morning he got up, and then he went off on his Ford Mondeo. At 5 o'clock in the morning. It must have been freezing cold out there at 5 in the morning. You could see all the frost on top of the cars. Alexa, are we due any snow?
No snow is expected today.
It says 0 degrees, no snow is expected today. But 0 degrees, possibly going down to -3. It is freezing. So I've got no plans to go anywhere today myself. It's just keeping warm and keeping safe. Let's see what's on the radio. Alexa, LBC radio.
LBC London from Global Player.
Really to address the needs, and one wonders where it's all going to end up. I mean, where does this go to? There's not really a military solution to all of this. Does the whole of the rest of the Gaza Strip get pummeled to the same extent as the north? Can Israel truly defeat Hamas in this sort of respect? I think it's very doubtful.
Do we take any comfort, trying to seek a positive, that the pause or ceasefire lasted for as long as it did, Mr. Doyle?
I think that the fact that the hostages and detainees, prisoners, Palestinian prisoners were released created a momentum that people wanted to see that. I think that a lot of people, obviously, particularly the diplomats, the Americans, were trying to keep it going, that they didn't want to see these resumption of hostilities. I think that it is heartening. I think there is a desire on that, but really the diplomatic scene now needs to see an injection of real energy, because a pause was never enough. That's why so many of us said a ceasefire, because it's only something that actually has that inherent attempt to resolve these issues that's going to work. You have to get to the ceasefire to get the remaining hostages out, but then produce a new reality for Gaza that actually provides for this security and prosperity and freedom for everybody.
Finally, that injection of energy, to use your expression, does that come from the US? Does it come from the West? Where does it come from, do you think? UK?
Well, it has to be a collective effort, but the US is absolutely key in that. And it was very interesting yesterday, Secretary of State Blinken was in Israel, and he gave some very differing messages to that of the Israeli leadership. He very much said that if hostilities are resumed, they cannot conduct operations in the way that they did in the first 50-plus days. Had to be different if they went into the south. He also warned and said that they had to hold Israeli settlers accountable for the violence that they're committing in the West Bank. And at the end of this, there has to be tangible steps, in his words.
I will agree with that. Chris Doyle, thank you. I must leave it there. You're Director of the Council for Arab-British Understanding. The music means we have to move on. Coming up after news, total change of tack. Bring back our banks. So many villages and indeed towns now left with very little banking facilities. Is there a new way forward?
Sometimes people that get up and go want to get up and go to the bank. So Metro Bank opens at 8. People banking.
Which all sounds very positive, but sadly, of course, they've all just announced they're laying off 20% of their workforce. We'll get into the banking sector. Plus,
these were looted. They were picked up by a British
expeditionary word there.
expeditionary force and brought home as loot.
The second part of my trip to the British Museum with former British Ambassador Professor Nick Western. All comes after 9 o'clock news.
On your radio, on Global Player, and
Play LBC.
leading Britain's conversation. This is LBC.
From Global's newsroom at 9 o'clock, Israel has accused Hamas of breaking the terms of a temporary ceasefire, which has now ended. Gunfire and explosions have been heard in northern Gaza this morning after a 7-day truce. Rishi Sunak says he will continue to call for more humanitarian pauses in the fighting.
We've been consistent that we want to see sustained humanitarian pauses so that more aid can get into the people of Gaza, but also the hostages can come out. Those are critical ingredients, and as we've said, everyone needs to adhere to the terms of these agreements.
King Charles has told world leaders that not reaching climate targets worries him greatly. The monarch has been addressing the COP28 climate conference in Dubai. He said the world is dreadfully off track when it comes to tackling climate change.
Ladies and gentlemen, in your hands is an unmissable opportunity to keep our common hope alive. I can only urge you to meet it with ambition, imagination, and a true sense of the emergency we face.
A former head of a nursing union has told LBC Matt Hancock's reputation will be further damaged by his evidence at the COVID inquiry. Yesterday, the former health secretary said there was a culture of fear in Downing Street and they were looking for someone to blame. Dr. Peter Carter, who led the Royal College of Nursing for 8 years, told us he couldn't believe what he was hearing.
If Matt Hancock now says the government was dysfunctional, there was a toxic culture, what was he doing at the time? I mean, why didn't he raise this? Why didn't he say, hey, listen, I don't think we've got a handle on this?
Shelter has told LBC thousands of people could be evicted from their homes through no fault of their own before Christmas. The charity told us 12,500 families could be left homeless as a result. Ministers say a ban on no-fault evictions has been delayed until legal protections are in place for landlords. Violence from Legia Warsaw fans in Birmingham has been called disgusting and highly dangerous by police. 4 West Midlands police officers were injured before their match with Aston Villa last night. 39 people were arrested. In the city, a short time ago, the FTSE 100 was trading up 42 points at 74.96. The pound buys $1.26 and €1.60. LBC weather, a cold start for many with some ice expected in places. Wintry showers will continue in coastal areas, but it will stay dry inland with spells of sunshine and a high of 5 degrees. From Global's newsroom for LBC, I'm Lottie Morley.
Just imagine what your best Christmas ever would sound like.
Thank you for calling National Lottery. I can see you calling about...
Right, guys, yeah, the world is in a bad state. Gambling is not the answer. I might buy the odd scratch card, but then you even learn that, you know, you get used to winning, and then basically you go back and get some more, and then those cards are losing cards. So it's alright if you've just like got, you know what you're doing and you're gambling a tiny bit and you might get lucky with one card, but I certainly wouldn't pay hundreds and hundreds of pounds tickets on the lottery or scratch cards, not hundreds of pounds. It's a waste of money. Sometimes you win, sometimes you don't, and if you don't win, you can be in a terrible amount of debt. So you've got to be careful, you've got to gamble responsibly. You do get addicted because you get a high when you win something. So I'm going to get some more, I might win a bit bigger, and then you just lose. So all you've won, you put back in. So they're not stupid. Places like the lottery and where you gamble on fruit machines, they know that the majority of people are going to put that money back into the gambling machine because it's addictive. That's why they say it's addictive, and there is a place where people go to get help from addiction to gambling. Yeah, fruit machines are another form of gambling, and it preys on the poor, wanting to get rich, wanting to get some money and get out of their situation. But these people know that you'll win something and you get the high from winning it, and then you put it all back in the machine, and then you think, oh, if I get more money, I'm gonna win something, and you end up in an extreme amount of debt and in trouble. I mean, people have lost their homes through gambling, and they've lost their family as well. It's addiction, and it's all based on, you know, you're in a bad, poor state. If you might win or gamble something, you know, but you lose in the end. So a very few proportion of people go on to win a lot of money and get themselves out of poverty, but a lot of people lose and end up in a terrible state. I'm getting fed up with scratch cards myself. I'm getting fed up with it. It's like they know. I got a group of 5 scratch cards. I won £18. Then I won again, and then the last time I got a group of 5 scratch cards, there was nothing on them. It's like they get to know your habits as well. So I'm not doing that so much now. I might every so often, but not as much as I was. Also, I've got a sore throat and I keep coughing because I've been singing on Star Maker and doing a bit of karaoke to try and stop myself getting pissed off in the evenings and fed up being by myself. So I've been doing a bit of karaoke, tried to do a great big massive crossword last night, and I got fed up with that. As I said, you'd like to share with somebody, you know. That's all it is. I mean, even if it's once a month to go out with somebody, go shopping, or you know, do something. But I have to rely on my own self, and that's why I do videos on YouTube, because I like to share with other people. So there you go. So it is Friday. I'm here by myself once again. no doubt whoever it is on Plenty of Fish will text me or talk to me, and that's it. I'm not in a hurry to go into the co-op, not after that nasty baguette. It tasted horrible. It really did. And they've refunded me £2.80, the cost of the baguette. But I won't be getting another one of those. You know what it is? The staff are so busy talking to each other. They just... Yesterday morning, there were 2 older ladies waiting at the till. They were waiting for ages. The staff are so busy talking to each other, somebody could come in there and loot the whole shop. Especially in the mornings, you can't see a member of staff. And if you do, they're yapping, they're talking to each other. Anyone could walk in. So that baguette was opened for some reason and tampered with, and I don't know why that was. I've never ever had that. So why was the end of that sausage sliced off? It wasn't bitten, it was a clean slice. It's weird. Anyway guys, I hope everybody has a lovely Friday and a great weekend, and I'll see you later.